Big Kel
Kel
and Kahuna
and Kahuna
podcast.
podcast. Mwah. For sure.
Welcome again, episode 16 for Big Kel
and Kahuna.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Alec.
And here we go. So, as custom, we recap any commentary from Mr. Dan in his second visit. Quite enlightening. We got some good hits on Greenland.
Greenland. Yeah. Well, as always, Dan, thanks for coming. Always fun hanging out. And
yeah, some good insights.
People are watching the shorts, but they're not watching this.
Well, you got more views last week than we did this week. We discovered we were missing hashtags in the long form.
Yeah.
But we got it fixed. It'll be all right. And then when, all those foot fetish weirdos see our bare feet, we might actually, get a couple thousand more hits.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this.
You're prostituting your feet for clicks.
I don't like that. There's studio lighting here.
Yeah, come on. It's just a joke.
Yeah.
Now, before we go on.
But yes, thank you, Dan.
Yeah, well, we really appreciate Dan coming. Second time around. Quite knowledgeable gentleman. Pretty consistent with us. More centrist, libertarian, center right.
He's pretty libertarian.
But we're very, very much alike. So I enjoyed the conversations. Even at the end when we were discussing what was better, 13 Hours or Lone Survivor, and then we got to Kelly's Heroes and Bridge Over the River Kwai and the Guns of Navarone. So
yeah.
we should have a discussion one time with him for like 15 minutes on war movies and pick our top 25.
Oh, yeah, he would be a great candidate for that.
You got to put Apocalypse Now in there.
Apocalypse Now.
What's the one?
Metal
Jacket.
Hurt Locker.
Hamburger Hill was pretty good.
Hamburger Hill.
Yeah, when we were
Saving
heroes.
Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan. When we were heroes with Mel Gibson, that was the depressing one, but it
Band
was good.
of Brothers. It's a TV show, but
that's
on
great.
HBO, that's really good.
Yeah, but didn't they do one for the Pacific Theater as well as the Europe Theater?
Yeah, it was named differently based on the theater.
And a lot of those guys became big actors.
Yeah.
Because this was, 10, 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Much more than that.
It's funny seeing John Bernthal in there.
Yeah. Yeah, before he became the Punisher.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that new movie with him and Affleck, The Accountant 2. I think that comes out next week.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, we're going.
Yes.
That
guy has fully weaponized his autism.
He sure has. He sure has. But I want to see that. That might be the only movie this summer that I actually go to a theater to see. Because that last one we went to was terrible. I don't even remember what it was.
Black Bag, the spy one?
Oh, that was okay. But that's not, I don't want to pay money for that. That's like Tinker, Tanker, Soldier, or whatever.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Oh, you got to see that. That's better than Black Bag.
Yeah,
you got to see that. That's a great movie. All right, so recap from Dan. Nothing else we missed, right?
No, I just want to get into Formula One.
Yeah, let's talk about Formula One real quick. So the qualifiers in Japan. What's the name of the track?
Suzuka.
Okay, so Formula One qualifiers today was Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, Russell, Leclerc, and then Antonelli was 6. So who's on your podium? Pick them. 3, 2, 1.
Norris, Russell, Piastri.
All right. I think I got, I'm going to say, I don't like the guy. I'm going to say Verstappen, Lando, and then
Russell. I don't know if Verstappen can hold him off.
Well,
he was terrible last week.
Yeah, but he was terrible.
Maybe he was just spec'd wrong for that car.
Yeah, but
that track.
But did you watch him in the practice sessions this time?
And then qualifying? Highlights. No, I just watched the highlights.
So he threw like a 5 or 6, 4, 5, and then boom, he set the track record because Lando just broke Vettel's track record. Was it Vettel's? Yeah, Vettel's track record. The run before him by like 7/10 of a second or something, and then Max comes in and takes another 1/10 of a second off.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he said track record. He said he finally got the car working for the track. So that's why I think Verstappen's going
About
to be
time. If whoops. Uh-oh. Let's hope that doesn't make a weird sound. If the car is spec'd right, and if he's saying that, then it's possible he
I
can
trust
win the
him.
championship.
Yeah, I trust him.
But it sucked the first 2 races.
It did. Well, what was the problem? Oversteer, not tight in the
It
corners.
was just off.
He didn't get getaway speed either. He
No,
couldn't catch anybody.
It wasn't fast on the straights. It wasn't fast on the turns.
No, it was a pedestrian car.
It was a mid-tier car.
Yeah, it was like a Ferrari
Well,
Or a
Ferrari
Mercedes.
2 years ago.
or a Mercedes.
Yeah, but Mercedes and Ferrari are good now.
Yeah, but they're still not good enough to. If Red Bull's running right, Red Bull should be better. But they're not running right. So that's why I'm curious to see what happens tomorrow
Are they
or
better than
tomorrow
McLaren
morning.
if he's running right?
No. I think McLaren is head and shoulders above everybody else. I think the race is for 2, 3, 4. And right now, what is it? Mercedes is 2, and then Red Bull's 3, and Ferrari's 4.
In
I don't even think
constructors?
Ferrari's 4. I think somebody else is over
In
Ferrari.
constructors, championship points.
Yeah, because
I don't
Ferrari got
think-
double DQ'd last week.
Red Bull's not in 3.
Who would it be?
I don't know.
It's not Ferrari.
It's Aston Martin. I don't know. Let me check so I don't
Yeah, double
look like
check.
a buffoon for that one guy
Yeah.
who commented
Yeah,
negatively.
just double
We
check.
love your negative comments.
But I know
it fuels me.
I know
It helps me
McLaren's
start my day.
McLaren's in front. I think Mercedes is next. What does it say? We're on dead.
Says
dead
I
time.
gotta accept all the shit to get into the stupid F1 website.
Why don't you just look on ESPN?
It's Formula 1. All right, McLaren's 1, Mercedes is 2. Shit, Red Bull is 3.
Who's for?
Williams, Mercedes,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Williams.
Williams is 4?
Yeah. Ferrari, they're
Is
tied.
5?
They're tied.
Okay.
No shit. Where's
Well,
the actual
Well, that's because
Mercedes? Oh, they're up there.
yeah, Mercedes is
Oh,
what?
shit.
2.
Ferrari is tied with Williams for points.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a big motivator for Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, except for he qualified 12.
Yeah, he did shit. There was one corner he wasn't.
And who's
he
his
wasn't
partner?
getting. I think it
Albon?
was turn 8.
Albon, right? He's 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So who would have thought Albon was covering that? You know what? Maybe Albon should have been the number 2 driver at Red
think-
Bull if they didn't dump his ass. Oh, so Tsunoda?
Tsunoda. You said earlier.
Yuki Tsunoda.
You said earlier.
Sonata.
The Sonata guy.
So Yuki came in
The
15
Yukimi guy.
and Lawson came in 14. But you know, I was
Yeah.
watching them before qualifying in the practice runs. Lawson was doing okay.
Yeah. Well, it's an easier car to handle.
Well, it has to be because that Hajjak guy is
So,
7.
It took Max 2 whole events to get a handle on the car. How long do you think it's going to take Yuki? Because there's going to be a big learning curve and adjustment and min-maxing for his personal setup.
Either Azerbaijan or Monte Carlo.
That's towards the end of the...
Well, what's 4 races from now?
I couldn't tell you. So
They
4
run.
races.
They run through Asia first, and then they go into Europe, and then they come back to the U.S. So yeah, I'd say it's going to take 4 races.
That's fair. That makes sense.
I don't know if he's strong enough to handle that car, and I'm not saying
don't know.
physically strong enough. I just don't think he's a top caliber driver.
Yeah, but you put a mid-tier driver in the best car and he becomes in the hunt for podiums.
Yeah, that true.
Which
if
is
he,
better than what Checo did.
well, but see, that was the problem with Checo. Checo was up in there, or he did
I'm
something
sorry,
fucking
everybody,
stupid.
everybody loves Ricardo too. That
Ricardo's a
fucker
dog.
who always smiles. He sucked too at
he-
Red Bull.
Yeah. Ricardo stopped being good about 6 years ago, and they kept him on too long.
And then when he broke his hands 2 years ago, or 3 years ago,
yeah,
he never really came back.
they
from
thought
that.
he was going to be another Alonso,
Fuck,
but
no
Ricardo
way.
just he did okay that one year with Renault, but that's about it. He's a piece of shit. I don't know. I don't think Tsunoda's that top guy.
He's
and,
not.
and I
He's
don't think he's
probably-
going to be able to handle that car.
He's probably the 9th best driver, 10th best driver.
Yeah.
Alonso's better than him. Both Red Bulls, well, Max, both Ferraris, both McLarens, both Mercedes. Carlos Sainz is a better driver than him.
How about
So
Albon?
he's ninth. Maybe.
Gasly's a better driver than him. I would say Ocon
We'll
is
see.
not.
We'll see what happens. I hate making predictions because I'm always wrong.
Yeah, we'll see because it's not going to rain, so we should be good.
Or you want to move on?
Yeah, UFC tonight? The only two ones that I care about is Chandler and Patty Pimblett.
I didn't even know there was a UFC.
That's tonight, isn't it? Or am I a week ahead of time?
What UFC?
Today's the 6th. Is it this week or next week?
UFC.
Should be 3:15, 3:14.
Yeah, that's the 12th.
Oh.
There's a UFC on ESPN. It's Josh Emmett.
Okay, so the pay-per-view's next week. Well, with
Brad Travares is
that being the
fighting.
case, I think Pimblett is going to knock out Chandler. Or no, submit Chandler. What do you think?
I think I'm sorry. It's kind of cool he adopted all those black kids, but he sucks in the ring.
Well, he's the thick guy. I don't think he can do jiu-jitsu.
And Pimblett's kind of a worm on the ground.
He
so
can wrestle.
Yeah.
He's got jiu-jitsu.
I'll give it to Pimblett.
I think he's going to submit. Now, the
He's
next
a little
one.
British fucking fucker,
Irish.
though.
He's Irish.
He's not Irish.
He's Irish. Patty Pimblett?
Oh, yeah,
he's
is.
Irish.
He's talking about,
He Connor number 2
yeah.
with a little more class.
And Sean Malley tried the same shit, too,
What's that?
being Irish.
Sean Malley's not Irish.
Sean Malley is Irish.
No, he's not.
That's what he
So he's
claims.
fighting
Sean O'Malley?
the champ on 316, the guy who beat him before, the Georgian,
Georgian.
Defasili or something.
Baril Darouche?
Darouche? Is it Darouche? Yeah.
Darouche?
I don't
He's champion?
dude. Whoever that fucking lightweight champion is, the guy from Georgia who just wrestles people.
I thought it was like Islam Makhachev.
No. That's up one more.
Oh, okay.
This is
That's
the
welterweight.
Davasili or something. O'Malley lost to him last time.
Does he wear that stupid hat?
Yeah. O'Malley
Okay.
lost to him already
Yeah,
once.
Davashili. That's not Benil Dairouche. It's a whole different
Yeah.
guy.
So I think if O'Malley could keep it stand up and not get wrestle fucked, he'd be fine. But
He
we'll
was
see.
the one, Darouche. I don't know how to pronounce it. Sorry. You're a great fighter. Remember when the Korean zombie was like gassed out coming
Yeah.
at this guy and he just turned around and hit
Threw
him
the
with an
elbow,
elbow like
yeah.
that and slept him?
Now
He went on a run after that.
He did. Now the main event on next Saturday, is I think it's Diego Garcia.
Volkanovski versus
Volkanovski.
Diego Lopez.
Lopez. I'm taking Lopez.
Shit, man, I like Volkanovski.
Volkanovski, a tough fighter,
he
but
sucks.
he's like what? One
He's old
and
now.
2 now in his last 3 fights.
He's washed.
And he's old. And this kid can sting.
You just make a clip of me going, Volkanovski is washed. Like I'm better than him. No, he's
No.
still kicking ass in his late 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well. So
I'll give it to Diego Lopez though.
so
He's
Vol-
got more spirit.
So you said Volkanovski's washed, but I'm gonna give it to Lopez because the younger fighters, that kid's coming up, and
They want it more.
he's a pretty good striker.
They want it more.
I think he's Mexican, isn't he? He's not Brazilian.
Once you're in the UFC for as long as Volkanovski, you start to become complacent.
But look what happened to Izzy. He got complacent. Volkanovski got complacent. Ortega got complacent. The only one who's been there for a while that hasn't got complacent for me, there's 2. Max Holloway and your boy, Diaz.
Nate Diaz.
Nate. Not Nick. Nate.
Dustin Poirier too has been fighting his ass off.
But he just retired.
Oh, he did?
I thought he retired. He didn't retire?
Maybe.
Yeah, but that fucker's tough.
He was fighting 3-4 times a
Yeah,
year
but
for like 8 years.
he's a tough fighter. He gives you 100%.
Him and Justin Gaethje too.
And Gaethje's still out
He's a
there.
fucking animal.
Yeah.
It's a shame what the UFC did to Nate Diaz, suspending him for multiple years for weed,
Yeah.
taking him out of his prime.
Took him out of his prime. And then his brother started going up, but he would have been, yeah, those two in a duo. See, and that's what I don't understand. If you want to be pure marketing, you sit down with them, you say, look, you're suspended for a year, keep training, because when you come back, we're going to double bill you and your brother as the main event and then the main prelim. You
No,
know
make
how
them
many?
co-main events.
Yeah, or co-main events. You know how many people would have paid for that to see the Diaz brothers
do
in
it
their prime
and do it
rocking?
in the like Stockton Arena or an
Yeah.
arena around there.
Do it in L.A. or something. They
Yeah.
could fill L.A.
They could.
What kind of stupid
Stockton,
shit?
motherfucker.
Yeah, Stockton slap.
There
Gotta love
are
it.
so many. Maybe that's the top 5 we could do in the future. Top 5 UFC fights, because even though I was watching UFC way before this, when he first fought McGregor, and beat him, that was the craziest moment. And the fact that it was like an expedition, or whatever way it's pronounced, bout, and the belt wasn't on the line, and then Conor and him fought, what, again or 2 more times?
I thought they fought 3 times. I thought Diaz won 2, but I could be wrong. It could be he only won 1. I like to see Diaz and Masvidal fight.
They have fought.
Who won? Diaz?
Masvidal.
Masvidal did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Masvidal's kind of... He's a cool dude from Cuba. He's really supportive of Trump.
Dude, he loves Trump. But you know what? He's speaking as a Cuban immigrant that lived under communism, saw how socialism and all that shit worked, and then he speaks from, I don't want to say the barrio, because I don't know if they have that in Miami, but Jorge Masvidal speaks for the people of that area.
Yeah.
And he is quite intelligent, and he is very well versed. And you know what? He is a great speaker and debater.
And dude,
And
now
he kills people with facts and logic.
now he's
I love the guy.
Now he's a multiple business owner. He's rich. He's just having the time of his life.
Yeah.
When he knocked
But
out,
remember though how he started?
when he knocked out Ben Askren,
that was
that
beautiful.
was top 5 knockouts.
But did
for
you
sure.
listen to him though afterwards? He said we knew he had a proclivity of coming across trying to jump in
They
wrestling.
released video of him hitting the knee in the pad right before the fight.
Just like that.
Yep.
I mean, that's good coaching.
Same shit Conor
Good
McGregor.
coaching.
When Conor McGregor was Mystic Mac.
he got, what's his name that way?
Well, no, when he was Mystic Mac and his predictions were coming true, that was quite the run.
But when he won the title, he put down
Jose
Aldo. Undefeated. It was a machine. He didn't have a chance.
Was the other guy Chad Mendez or?
No, but let me stick with Aldo. So that was a real big hype. Aldo, listen, was the favorite, but he dropped him in like 6 seconds. But he said he knew he was doing that. They planned exactly for that. I saw an interview with him afterwards, and they planned exactly for that.
And he predicted knockout the first round.
Yeah. Look, when he was
baby.
when he was in his prime, like before he fought Diaz, the time before that, he was great.
Yeah,
He's just been a loudmouth douche. And you know what?
Lately.
I think he's afraid to fight Chandler.
he is. I think I've been shitting on him too much in the earlier episodes. So his charges did get dropped in Ireland. They're not going to prosecute him.
Now he has to get 30 members of parliament to support him, and he can run for president. Now, I don't know how many members of parliament are in Ireland.
He's running for like prime minister.
Prime minister. I'm sorry, not president, prime minister. But to be able to run for it, you got to get
The support of 30.
30 out of parliament.
Okay, he needs to canvass Irish parliament. Like, hey, you want to build fucking Ireland?
You don't think he's already doing it?
You want more me's in the street?
I think that'd be dangerous.
Bunch of drunk Irish dudes.
No, not that. I mean, I think the temperament would be dangerous. You know what I mean?
You know,
If it was the old Conor when he
going to the
was
bathroom,
skinny at
powdering his
135
nose.
pounds and he spoke with philosophy. You know that one quote he said? The guy asked, "How do you know you're going to do it?" He goes, "If you believe it, you'll do it."
Yeah.
And he spoke quite eloquently there. If that Conor comes back,
it's
then
not
he'd
coming
be
back.
okay.
Do you think that Connor's coming back after that shitty Roadhouse movie?
he was terrible.
There's something wrong with you.
In the first
Me
road,
too. What the
in the first Roadhouse, the villain guy was kind of a douchebag too, because he had big puffy hair. He looked like he come out of a '70s discotheque.
Roadhouse?
Yeah, but he was doing stuff. But Patrick Swayze with that, whatever that fuck was, he took the guy's throat out.
He ripped a throat.
He
out.
rolled the throat out. That's how he beat him. He used some magic trick. I guess that old man that got his ass killed, Sam, whatever his name is.
I don't think I saw the ending of it.
Oh.
I think I've seen everything but.
No, you got to watch the ending. No, so the old man, you know, his buddy,
Yeah.
taught him.
Mm-hmm.
This might be my favorite Nicolas Cage movie. I really only like 2 or 3 of them, but Ghost Rider.
Oh,
The first Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
And that old man that was in the cemetery,
Yep.
that's him too.
Dude,
The first Ghost Rider was good.
you know,
They should do another one.
that came out when we were in Singapore.
I know.
I went with my friend and his mom, and we were 13, and there were probably 8 other people in the theater, and I'm cracking jokes the whole time, like, oh, Ghost Rider's hot again. He's hot and ready to go.
But that's a great movie.
It's making the whole theater
Could you
laugh.
imagine if like James Gunn or somebody redid Ghost Rider?
Ghost Rider.
Now it can't be Nick Cage. He's too old now. Who could be a good Ghost Rider? Oh, you know who it is?
Who?
The fucking kid from Sons of Anarchy.
Yes.
That's the Ghost Rider.
Yeah, it is.
Because everybody would resonate. We should send him a note. Be Ghost Rider. Fuck, we could be
He
producers.
gets that all the time.
All right, where are we at? Oh,
The guy from Fire Country could be Ghost Rider. No,
he's too big.
He's too silly looking.
No, he's too goofy looking. Or you could make Reacher Ghost Rider.
Reacher, Alan Richardson. He's a pretty cool dude. I was going to say really quickly before we move on. Nicolas Cage, all the money he made kind of went to his head. Him and Johnny Depp at one point had like tens of properties.
Okay.
And I think Nicolas Cage has a Tyrannosaurus Rex skull.
Okay.
But if you've got hundreds of millions
Dude,
of dollars.
if I had $500 million that I made in my career, aside from having a golden tee, I'd probably have my own golf course. I would probably have bought like, Tiger did shit, but
his course
he's got
is
a couple
really
holes.
good.
But I would have bought like those Meadow Farms guys.
Well, Tiger made his own course
I
a
saw
couple
that.
years ago.
I saw that.
It's beautiful.
But I would be like the old Meadow Farm, old Farmer Bill. He put those 27 holes. He made the golf course because he got tired of playing on everybody else's and having to pay, so he built his own golf course.
That man did that. The 27 imitation holes all by himself?
No. Only 9 of them are imitation.
Oh, okay.
And then like 9 of them are funny. Like they got a baseball, you hit out of a baseball diamond. Another one, it's like 700-800 yards long. Another one looks like ski moguls. So boobies all over the fairway.
You mean
Like
ski
100 of them.
mounds?
Yeah.
What'd you call them?
Boobies. Moguls. They're called moguls.
Moguls?
Yeah.
Okay. That's their proper terminology?
They're called moguls. Not
So-
ski bumps.
So when you're doing slalom, you're avoiding the moguls?
Yes.
That's such a...
Not the Mongols, the moguls.
The mogul. That's such a gay way to say
I'm
it.
sure it's French or something. I have no idea.
You know who else is gay for dinosaurs?
Hmm.
George St. Pierre.
Is he?
Yeah, half of his Instagram is either him selling workout stuff or just him saying, if you think about the Velociraptor, what is the first thing to come to your mind?
You know why?
Crazy shit. He always posts about
Because
dinosaurs.
he got picked on when he was a younger kid, and he probably spent a lot of time learning about dinosaurs. And he still has a passion and a love 20, 30 years later. Either that or he's retarded. And he's not retarded.
So maybe, you know how some people...
He's French, though. He's French-Canadian.
Yeah, so that's kind of close.
Yeah.
But you know how some
Qu'est-ce
people...
que c'est?
Some people get really hyperfixated on, like, trains, for
Yeah.
example. What's
Oh,
your
train
favorite...
spotters or...
Yeah.
I used to work at one airline, and the CEO was a fucking dork for plane spotting. He had his own catalog, where he saw them, when he saw them, all kinds of
To
gay
the extreme,
shit.
bird watching is similar to that, but
Mhm.
I'd rather watch something a human built, not me personally, but a human built rather than just looking at birds. But birds can also
Oh,
be good
dude.
for the right atmosphere.
Look,
If you're out in the woods, I'd rather birds
Yeah.
than planes.
I sit outside and just if you're hearing the wind and you're seeing the lights and you're seeing the shadows and you see the leaves moving and then all the birds and just watch your behaviors and then you get the jackass squirrels coming in and then the crows come around. It's entertaining.
And then the hawk shows up.
Right. All right. So where are we at? We did F1. So Ovi had 2 goals last night. So he's at 894 goals. Matched the Great One. Great One was there in attendance. I will say, however, that the Great One did it in 1,487 games, and Ovi did it in 1,486 games.
So how cool would it be if he breaks the record
On the same one.
same amount of
Yeah.
games?
Now, one thing I will bring up is that the Great 8 only has 724 career assists, where the Great One has 1,963.
Yeah. Well, good luck, Ovi. I'll say one more thing. The chick at PetSmart was an Islanders fan, and the Caps are playing the Islanders next.
Right?
And she was freaking. I was fucking with her, saying, I heard a goalie say it would be the worst thing ever to be the one that Ovechkin scores that goal on, because that highlight is going to be showing for the rest of time,
Right.
and you'll be losing on it. And she was all taken aback, and I said, maybe it's a curse. And she goes, stop, stop, stop. I'm like, well, I'll knock
Yeah.
on this fake wood for you.
You never know.
Give me my cat food.
All right, so we'll just run through real quick because it's the same old stuff with Trump derangement syndrome. Complaining about, they made an announcement yesterday that they're going to terminate 20,000 IRS employees, cut
Good.
the staffing by 25%.
Good.
And that's also because they didn't hire all those gun toters.
Yeah,
they
did
sent
they,
them
how
to
many
the
of
border.
those 80,000 did they hire?
I think they probably got 5 or 10, but they're all on the border,
They're okay, good.
and they're going to get transferred.
I like the notion, I don't know if he could pull it off, of an external revenue service rather than an internal
Oh, it's
revenue
coming.
service.
It's coming.
That's a possibility.
Well, who do you think is going to collect the tariffs? Right now, it's CBP collected the tariffs.
But what if it overtakes the IRS and we can dissolve the IRS?
I think that'd be great.
I think the IRS
Did you
is
listen
an
to-
infringement of our
so-
liberties
So
and our rights.
Trump was given a history lesson and talking about how the government was taking terrorists to the 1900s and the 1920s. Shit changed. I think they did it from 1919 to 19. They stopped at 21 or 19 or something like that. And then the Great Depression happened. We lost some money, but we had enough money
The
that
roaring
we
20s.
didn't know what to do with it or where to invest it. And then it was after the Great Depression, the Internal Revenue Service came in and they started getting shortfalls off of all of us. I would love it if we didn't have to pay income tax. Or if we did, it was a flat rate at like 10%.
That's why I like states such as Florida, where there is no state income tax.
Yeah, you know,
Or
40%.
Montana,
I think
is
40%.
good for cars,
There-
registering
there's
exotics.
8 states that have no state tax. But do you know less? I think it might be more.
Why? It
than-
should be more.
Hold
Why
on a
is it
second.
only 8?
Hold on a second. I was saying something different. I think it's at least 40% of the Americans don't pay
Don't pay taxes at all.
federal income tax because they're below a certain line, and a deduction
What's the
wipes
line?
them out.
20,000.
Yeah, if you're under 20 for sure.
40% is under 20,000.
Yeah.
What?
Well, 40% of the Americans don't pay tax.
How
I
many
think it might be higher than that.
How many homeless people are in this country?
I don't know. You'd be amazed.
Why has no one given a shit about them? It's kind of funny, but
Well,
sad.
hopefully, if you know
We got to stop the production and the infiltration of fentanyl,
yeah,
which means we need to go after cartels.
we got to stop that.
And we have the authority to go after
No,
cartels.
we
So I
will.
say, fuck it, let's do it.
So what I wanted to say was
Get the bug out, boys. Sorry.
for number 47, President Trump, to make America great again, we need to have some type of special task force for the homeless. We have to figure out how we can house them better, care for them better, to include medical and mental care, and get them some opportunities. But
Or,
we can't have all these people living on the ground. So if we want to make America great, I would ask you, put somebody together for a commission on the homeless.
If we want to make it funny, we can make them play games and stuff and
Oh,
televise
come
it. And
on.
get them
Why
part of
would
the
you be a
Because we give them
knucklehead?
part of the commission. We give them network deals.
Don't do that.
We give them spin-offs.
Alec, there's influencers doing shit like that, and
Mr. T was homeless.
I saw one of them make a woman who can't swim jump in the lake. I
Oh,
mean,
there were those
that's heinous.
those IRL streamers are pieces of shit.
That's heinous.
There's one dude who's named
Now-
Johnny Somali. He just went to Japan and was
Oh,
fucking with people
yeah.
and threatening cops. He finally got charged. He's going to be in prison in
Good.
Japan for like 10, 15 years.
Now somebody I saw
hate that
went on
that
that
vein.
island. Some YouTuber went on that island.
Which island? Epstein's Island?
No. The don't go to this island, you'll get killed island.
Oh, the North Sentinel Tribe
Yeah.
Island?
Yeah, that happened yesterday.
The one that throws spears at people?
Yesterday or the day before.
I fucking love those people.
And they got arrested. Now, if we wanted to do something,
That's off the coast of India, right?
yeah, Sri Lanka or India.
Sri Lanka.
If we want to do something interesting, I suggest we bring back or create the Running Man. Give people in prison on life sentences the opportunity. Now, you really give them an opportunity to make money for their family members
yeah.
if they die.
Well, they did that in Death Race. That
Yeah.
could be cool.
And you can even put a life insurance policy for like 25 grand on them, and you can give that to the family plus whatever residuals they get. And whoever wins it gets a sentence reduction in half or something.
So I'm way far more.
I think we should do that.
I think we should reinstitute the Coliseum with death row inmates.
Nah. I'd rather, you know what I'd rather see?
Dude, the Muslim world.
This is what I would
the
rather
Muslim
see.
world televises executions
Yeah.
and fill up stadiums.
As they should. They did that in Singapore,
So
too.
why can't we televise executions?
Because we're a little bit more, developed and not socially inept. Now, that being said, I wouldn't mind taking death row inmates and doing the Hunger Games.
Yeah, like a battle royale.
Yeah, you got a woman and a man, and you're each from a zone. Now, after the second season,
It's
it'll
just
all be
different-
dudes.
It's just different gangs.
It'll be all dudes. Yeah.
Be a bunch of
Got MS-13,
Gangbangers.
Tenedragra, the Aryans, the Black Panthers.
bunch of cholos like, oh, I say, get
Yeah.
the ball now, man. Get the ball now, man.
It would be funny.
Hey, man, watch out.
That'd be interesting.
That would be fun.
And then you put a pair of pedos in there too, because you guarantee they'll be the first to go, and everybody can wager and make money.
What about Death Race? You know the movie.
Yeah, but that costs too much. You gotta get the cars. This is just a couple, bows and arrows, and
But what if Elon funded it? That'd be cool as shit.
I think we should start doing that.
Yeah.
We got a prison issue.
I think we should
the
bring back-
relatives of the prisoners could really use the money.
We should bring back mental institutions too.
But it's got to be done right.
But for Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah, well, I
They
told
could all
you,
we'll
you
call
and
them
Dan,
spas.
I told you and Dan to watch that thing with Geraldo Rivera. If they ever wanted to bring back large wholesale mental institutions, they got to staff at almost 50% staff to 100% patients, so that it's one for two.
One every two.
Yeah, all the
Because
time.
The old ones were bad because they were 1 to 20, and there was just neglect.
if that. If that.
There's another thing. Did you?
It was subhuman, Alec. It was subhuman. It was some of the
You
most
wanna know what's-
disgusting stuff I've ever seen
You
in my
want to know
life.
what's subhuman? During World War II, there's this Japanese research camp. It's called camp, and it's a 3-digit number, 1-4 something. I'm not entirely sure, but they just tortured and killed people in different ways to see how they would die.
Yeah.
Like set someone on fire, shoot some,
Yeah.
amputation,
Terrible stuff.
poisoning.
All right, so Trump derangement syndrome this week has all been on the terrace, and the market took 10% hit in 2-3 days. But you know what? It'll all come back.
The market.
I was talking to you earlier.
I don't know
This
shit about
is
the
like
market.
this is like somebody who is an alcoholic or drug addict and needs to stop. The first couple days are terrible. The first week is hard, but then it gets a little bit better the second week, and before you know it, you're on a roll. Same thing if you're on a diet, no matter what it is. It's always rough at the beginning because there's uncertainty. Trust the system, run the race. It's going to be fine. With what he's got coming with tax cuts and investments and factories, you guys should do your research. After the North America Free Trade Agreement came in, the U.S.
NAFTA.
lost 90,000 factories.
Yeah.
We got to get that back.
NAFTA shit.
I heard
Who cares about Canada?
the small business
Canada's nothing without us.
secretary say today that we don't even make enough nails and screws in our own country to fund rebuilding all this
Did you
stuff.
see that guy that testified in front of Congress with the nuts and bolts and how much it cost for him versus all the way down the line? Like a 0.2 bolt was being charged to the government as $8.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that'll stop. Doge is inside the IRS. Doge is inside Social Security Administration, and they're in DOD. You think you've heard stuff now? Just wait till the Department of Defense stuff is out. Now, there'll be some type of secrecy around some of it because it'll be sensitive.
I just want to see.
but
if
it'll be terrible,
I know
especially
this,
the food and the officers clubs.
all right, I know the CIA killed Kennedy. I want to see more information about MLK because I think they might have killed him too.
I guarantee you they did.
Yeah.
The question becomes, did they get RFK Sr.? Now, Sirhan
he the one that
Sirhan was
died
the
on the
guy who
boat?
shot him. No, he was shot in a hotel. He just gave a speech he was running for the presidency in 68. I think it was 68.
Oh.
And then he was walking out through the hotel area, and Sirhan shot him. Now, he said he was under mind control.
Yeah, Sirhan's nuts now. He came out of college, or fucking college. He came out of prison and started making country music.
That wasn't him.
Or was that the one that tried to kill Jennifer
No.
or Jane Fonda?
No.
Who the fuck was it?
It was the gal from Taxi Driver.
With the
It was
name, I don't
John
care.
Hinckley, Jodie Foster.
Oh, Jodie Foster.
But she didn't try to kill Jodie Foster. He shot at Reagan. He hit Reagan. So he
For Jodie Foster.
for Jodie Foster, who was 13 in the movie, by the way.
Oh shit.
Oh
No.
yeah.
Wait,
so
wait. How much time elapsed from the movie to when he shot Kennedy?
in less than 12 months, because I think the movie came out in 1980 and won Best Picture, and Reagan was shot in 80 or 81.
He shot Reagan over a 14-year-old. You know, apparently she did.
That's why he'd been in a mental home for 30 plus
she
years,
did
40
bro-
years.
She apparently has been caught bragging to people. Well, no one's ever shot the presidential candidate for you, bitch.
Yeah, I've never heard that story before. So, all right. So we still have Elon derangement syndrome.
I saw one today. Where
What's that?
A really overweight African American dude was running a 4x4
Yeah, and
into the
this
Tesla
gal's
back and
Tesla.
forth. Did you see that too?
Yeah. And then they had guys putting gum in a handle, and it cost like $2,800. And that fella's suing the man who did it for $1 million.
Oh,
They got one guy.
Tough break.
He was a CFO for a company, and they fired his ass for
a
doing it.
CFO fucked with a Tesla?
Yeah. The guy had to be making over $250,000 a year. His
How-
LinkedIn profile, I looked at it. They fired him on the spot for
How
vandalizing a Tesla.
Fucking dumb do you have to be
But I still
to
tell
have
you.
hired a CFO that would have done that to a Tesla?
Well, you don't know because some people go crazy. But aside from the fella with the Mario Kart, it looked like a Mario Kart that ran into that lady's Tesla.
That was so blatant.
The other like 15 or 20 that I've seen, they're all white dudes and gals.
Yeah.
They're all crazy whites. And here's the thing. I have never seen
I do
so many
agree.
different color hair at any event than even more than the Democratic convention and so forth.
It's
all
white
these
women.
these Tesla things last week.
Protesters?
I saw pink hair,
Did you forget the
purple
word
hair,
protester?
yellow hair, orange hair, green hair,
Yeah.
combination hair,
I
platinum
do-
blonde hair.
I do agree with some other societal groups that say white people be tripping. White women are tripping right now.
I won't say all. The left are
The ones that get out and protest.
because you know the
and
women,
love
the white gals
abortions.
that are on the right side, they're in the Maha movement, or they got their Second Amendment rights, and they don't take shit from people. You could tell you can really tell the difference. Like you can tell the difference between a man that's right or left.
Oh,
Women, you can really tell.
I can tell the difference before I even say a word to them.
Most of the time, you can. So we still got to figure out what a male Karen is. We're going with Chads right now, but
No.
you see anything more about Tesla?
What about a Dale?
Yeah,
Dale's
maybe.
like head of HOA.
Oh, Elon did say last week that they found out who's behind all the Tesla activities.
Yeah, but he didn't release the name.
You know why? Because Pam Bondi probably has it, or Kash Patel.
Oh.
That's the criminal investigation. All right, so again, we're going to talk about Democrats imploding. I will say the first one.
I'll let you run
The
this
funniest thing I saw this week was Senator Cory Booker from the great state of New Jersey, who last year said filibustering should not be allowed, spent 25 hours filibustering. And if I am to pay homage to Eddie Murphy, it's just like Mama Crump. Instead of saying Hercules, it's Spartacus, Spartacus, Spartacus. That's for you, Cory Booker. You're a dumbass.
I don't really have one. When I'm not working, I've been playing that Schedule 1 game I've been telling you about.
Oh, okay.
So I don't really know anything that's happened this past
Well,
week.
I saw this on. Remember those two twin brothers, the
The
Hodge twins. They actually said something on a clip about Jasmine Crockett. You know, down from Texas, the one they said Governor Hot Wheels the other day.
Yeah.
She said in some interview that she was definitely a DEI hire because she wasn't qualified to be an assistant attorney. And
Thanks for making it easy,
I don't
bud.
know. I didn't know if that's true, but if she did that, why would you just? Even if it's true,
She doesn't fucking
it's
care.
timing. That young gal's got no timing. She needs
That's
to
so
understand.
funny that she just came out and said that.
Yeah.
Thanks for making it easy.
It's unbelievable. All right, well
idiot.
that's
How
it
does an
there.
idiot like that race to such a high level?
Well,
A
look,
reasonably powerful position.
well, the Hodgson twins both said that when she campaigned, she was different than after she got elected.
Yeah, you know, some of them do that.
But
Some Democrats
But she
do
was
go,
still hired in her district. I mean,
Yeah.
AOC just rerun her district.
Well,
Now, two of
yeah.
the people on the squad actually didn't make it back.
Which ones?
I forgot who they were, but
Rashida
that was
Jones,
that,
Ilhan Omar?
no, they're still there.
Fuck.
That was the election before. But the people in their district think they're doing a good job. So we'll see. We'll see. Now, I do think it's funny for people to say that they're going to primary AOC against Schumer, and that AOC and Bernie are the ticket for 4 years from now or 3 years from now.
No.
Please be.
You know what really worries me is that these people, when they finally realize how upside down and ludicrous the worlds they're living in and decide to leave to other states, they bring their voting tendencies with them.
And that's a problem.
And the main, excuse me, the main problem that's affecting is the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose the right, the
no.
Second Amendment.
No, that'll never go away.
It's going away in states.
No,
Or it's getting restricted more.
Yeah, but then the federal government just has to put something out
Kash
to
Patel
undo
would be a
that.
gangster. So
Yeah.
one of his under guys or undersecretaries
No,
is a big Second Amendment guy. So
Well,
maybe they just
most
dissolve
of
all
them
this
are.
shit with the ATF.
no. Well, they're looking at dissolving ATF,
Good.
and they
I think
and
you
they
should
would.
push the ATF to like SWAT, move those operators to SWAT or other things with a similar combat
No, those
intensive
guys would
role.
go to FBI.
Are you special agents?
No, all the tactical guys, the special agents, they'll just get sucked in the FBI. They'll
Yeah,
do the same work.
What the fuck is it called in the FBI?
No.
Oh no, the CIA's ground branch. I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what it's
No,
called
no.
in the FBI.
Look, they're just gonna eliminate it, and then they'll move the firearms over, and I don't know if alcohol and tobacco becomes Customs and Border Patrol or maybe U.S. Marshal or somebody else, but it's going away.
Good.
Now, the
I like the regulations going away. That's all I'll
Yep.
say.
Now, the other thing that's come out this week, and these people are all dog shit. Everybody is now writing a book about their time in the Biden administration, and they're leaking stuff out like, oh, we knew Joe was incapacitated months before. When we were prepping for the first debate, he went 45 minutes and said, I'm tired, and went to bed. But they're the same people who come out and say Joe's ready for the debate, and even when he blows it, the guy said, no, he's still altogether there.
So
Hold on. And now a year later, he's writing a book saying he's dementia, he lost his mind, he didn't have staying power. So you guys are all scum, and you're bottom of the barrel because you had a duty to inform about, and you didn't. And now you're
they're doing
greedy
it for book
asses
deals.
are trying to make money off of it of book deals.
Yep.
Disgusting.
Spineless.
Pulaski's the same. They're all the same.
They're spineless.
It's just gross. Now, the funny thing I did hear, though,
You're
one of the
talking
things I
loud.
read is that Obama hated Biden and didn't want him to run. And then Obama would not support Kamala. And Kamala Harris got upset about that. So now there's infighting in there, too.
I don't know why Michelle has a better chance than Kamala. Big Mike?
No.
Yes, she does.
I think they both have infinitesimal chance. And now I don't know what Michelle Obama's been doing, but she had her hair one time like the crackhead girl in Friday with the three things, and the other day she looked like she had not Princess Leia on the ear, but on top is like she was a prior first lady and all that, and I respect that, but she's wearing hair like a 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old. So it's got to be a reason to get some attention.
She's having a mental break.
Yeah. And then she took a couple shots at Barack, but that's, such is life.
Big Mike took a shot at Barack.
Yeah.
I thought they loved each other.
A rumor is they're getting divorced.
Those two boys are what?
Yeah.
Those boys are getting divorced?
Stop.
Look at that clip from Oprah
No, it was Ellen.
or Ellen.
No, I can't.
You saw the Ellen clip.
I can't deny that. I'd like that explained sometime, but not today.
There's
All right.
also one with Macron. Apparently Macron's wife is a man too.
Well, I don't know if she's a man, but she's definitely 30 years older than him, and that's interesting.
She groomed him.
Probably so. All right, we're going to move on to the book chapters real quick, and we're not picking chapters.
No
we're going
one
to talk
cares.
themes. So the first theme is money. You got to learn how to manage money, and you need to learn how to use money as a tool.
Get your stacks up.
And get your stacks. Put your, if you can, build your 6 months of salary in case you need it. Get 5 or 10,000 in emergency fund. Make sure you're on a 60-20-20 budget or a 50-30-20. Against what you have to have, what you would like to have, which include or even restaurants or movies, and then the 20% you need to save. You need to save at least 10. If you could do 20-20, because time is your friend. The more you could get in, and not even look. What about $100? Hold on, $100 bill today is worth $1,000 in 20 years. So in 20 years, you got to put in 1,000, where today you got to do 100. 10% return. It's probably worth more. I'm just making a point that the present value of the dollar is cheapest now.
It's degrading.
No.
It's been going downhill ever
We're not
since.
talking about the dollar value, Alec. We're talking about the present dollar value with the investment.
Value of the dollar.
$100,000 today, you would be paying $10,000 in 10 years to get the same lift.
So you're
put it in now.
Compound interest.
Yeah. Put it in now. You fucker don't understand. All right. And
what I was going to say before you kept talking,
going.
and then was a little dick right there. What if you contribute 10% to your company's 401k, and you save 10% of your personal? Is that equal up to 20, or is that not the same?
That's 20.
Okay.
Now, if you were to do that, I would tell you to invest with your company in a Roth IRA after taxes, and if not, if it's a pre-tax, that's fine, because you can port it whenever you leave a company.
The Roth is so much easier and superior.
You could port, yes, it's easier because you're only taxed, but it's after-tax contributions. But if your company has a pre-tax one, then do it, because you could always port it over when you leave. You should, and that's another thing.
You can transfer pre-tax to Roth accounts.
Yeah. A lot of you have worked different jobs, and you left your retirement accounts in those companies. Consolidate them into a single account. We use Edward Jones. You could use Citibank. You could use Fisher. You can use. There's tons of people. Make sure it's a reputable one.
Goldberg, Stein, and Fine.
Not like the guy you find in the strip mall or something like that.
You know him when you see him.
Or Schwab. Do somebody that's reputable. You get it. All right. So the next thing we'll just do is mindfulness. And we talked about this in a couple chapters.
Did you buy that helmet yet?
Yeah. Don't do negative self-talk. Find your peace. Try to sit alone. Get some meditation in. Make sure you get your sleep. Everything to maintain. All right. And that's about it. All right. You want to start next? We got our 2 top 5 lists. You'll start.
All right. I got to set the scene for the clip. Top 5, number 1. Top 5 golf courses. I will go from 5 to 1. Number 5 for me is TPC Sawgrass. 4 is Augusta. 3 is Pebble Beach. 2 is Scottsdale. And number 1, St. Andrews.
Okay. Well, I'll go with my top 5 golf courses. Number 5, I got Sawgrass. Number 4, I got Bethpage Black. Number 3, I have St. Andrews. Number 2, I have Pebble Beach. And number 1, I have Augusta National. And it's good because, if I'm not mistaken, the Masters start next week.
They do. And
Thursday.
Their concessions are still insanely cheap.
Yeah, I saw that $1 a hot dog. I saw that sign. I was like, was this from 1970? And
they haven't changed the prices.
They haven't changed it.
Out of respect.
That's classic. That's classic.
You can get a pimento sandwich for $4, I think.
Yeah.
There was a picture of what $50 gets you. It was 3 beers, 8 sandwiches, 4 sides, and like a chip and a cookie.
Yeah, normally that's like a beer and a hot dog.
Yeah, hot dogs usually like $10 to $20.
The beers are like 15 and 20 at these places.
Which is absurd.
Yeah.
You're paying 15.
But at your course of Scottsdale at the Waste Management Open, they don't seem to have a problem with that. They got to cut.
Well, they got to cut people off because people get too fucked up on that 16th hole.
No, 17.
17
where they all
and
throw,
jump on the green and they throw shit.
but they all throw the beers. Somebody gets a hole in one,
all
the beer cups come out.
Last year, someone jumped into the water next. Did you see that guy who belly flopped?
That's 16.
What do you mean?
No, that's Sawgrass.
No, that's on the Waste Management.
Oh, on what hole?
The par 3.
No, the par 3 is circled with.
Yeah.
There's no water.
Yeah, there is. No,
No,
Oh, well,
you're
maybe it's a
thinking
different
about
one.
you're thinking about Sawgrass 16.
not the island. I'm
Oh.
not thinking about the island.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, he jumped into like a sand bunker
Oh,
and
okay.
was doing sand angels,
All right.
and then the people slide down the muddy hills.
Yeah.
But let me rant really
But
quickly.
the kids at the World Series, the Little League World Series, that slide down on the pieces of cardboard, that's
yeah,
the best.
That's cool. Let me rant real quick, and say a positive for drinking alone at home, because when you go out to these fucking places, you get one beer for 18, $20, and you can get a 6-pack for $11.
Yeah.
And you can drink that in the comfort of your own
Dude.
home.
It doesn't matter where you go. You can go to like
When we go see Shane Gillis on a week from today,
those are gonna be $15 beers.
yeah,
We're not drinking them,
or
but
not.
there's $15 beers. But even at that restaurant we went to last night, I can guarantee you a draft was $7.99,
Yeah.
and a bottle was probably $8.95. And for
Which
two
is a
bottles,
400% markup.
but that's always the case with liquor, unless you go to a festival.
Beer has like the most extreme markups.
Probably so. Probably so.
That's such a simpleton thing to say.
I
Beer
think
just has such like
wine probably
extreme
has the biggest
markups.
markups. All right, we'll go to the next top 5. This time we will say muscle cars. Now, my last one in 5th place is a '69 Dodge Charger Daytona or Roadrunner. Plymouth Roadrunner, depends on which one you want. Number 4 is a '70 Chevy Chevelle, kind of like your boy in
The SS.
the
John
SS.
Wick.
No, John Wick's got an SS, but so didn't Vin Diesel have one? A Chevelle SS?
I think he had like a Challenger.
Oh, a Challenger?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the Chevelle SS that John Wick
He
had.
had like a
Number
60s
6, I got a
Challenger.
Pontiac GTO.
Pontiac.
And 69, I got, number 2, I got a 69 Pontiac Firebird. I like the Firebirds better than the Camaros.
I like 69.
People say you could have a '69 Chevy Camaro Super Sport in there.
I would love to be a super sport
But-
at 69.
But
than a
I'd rather
Chevy.
have the Firebird. And then my number 1 is the '67 Shelby GT 350 Mustang Fastback.
Good 5.
All right, what's yours?
At number 5, I got the Plymouth Hemi Cuda.
Mm-hmm.
At number 4, I got the Stingray with the split back window.
Yeah, what is that? 65,
Corvette
66?
Stingray. Whatever year it was.
Yeah.
Number 3, I got the Rogue Runner.
Okay.
Number 2, could be number 1. Anything this guy makes could be number 1. Number 2, Shelby Cobra.
Yeah.
Number 3, or number 1, the 1967 Mustang Fastback.
Yep. All good cars.
And some of those older ones, like the Boss 302,
Yeah.
or the other Boss engine that's more...
Is it for
And
the Fastback 429? I think.
The fucking Shelby.
402, yeah.
Shelby, oh man.
Or the Judge, the GTO Judge, or Olds 442.
Hmm.
You know, you can they're all pretty in there with muscle cars too.
Carroll Shelby is an automotive genius.
He is. All right, so we'll go on to the next one real quick. Is our book of the week for me, William Golding, Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
I think everybody did okay except for Piggy.
I saw a meme. It's a quote from a professor who was telling his class, Lord of the Flies would never work with women because they would bully each other and give each other emotional disorders, and nothing would work like that.
You know, we don't need to pick on women, Alec. I was just talking about Lord of the Flies book. Go ahead with your book.
My book is The Odyssey by Homer. Most people had to read it growing up, but I hope Christopher Nolan doesn't mess it up, because that's a good book if you read it of your own volition.
Yeah. He should be okay. I mean, doesn't he make decent movies? What's his last one?
His Batman movies were good. I don't know what his last one was.
Well, he got a lot of money behind him. So it'll be an interesting application, because usually you don't go back into ancient Greece.
I don't know why Timothy Chalamet is... Who's in The Odysseys? It's not Achilles.
I have no idea. It's not till
Some
next
other
year. It's too way far in front for me.
Odysseus? No. Yeah, maybe.
Odysseus, yeah.
Probably. The
All right.
Odyssey, Odysseus goes on.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, so we have the movies, and we actually said TV series, but that'll probably be next week. Mine is The Shawshank Redemption with Timothy Robbins and Morgan Freeman. That was a great movie. Andy Dufresne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine, I'm gonna go with an audible, not what's on the board. I am going to go with the movie that I had in my mind
Okay.
and currently do not. For some reason, the Shawshank Redemption reminded me of it. Ah, fuck it. Another one. Another good one is The Usual Suspects.
Oh, you got a Kaiser Sose?
Kaiser Sose with Kevin Spacey, who... Did you see the documentary on HBO, what he was doing with guys?
Yeah, I don't need to go that far. We'll stick with the movie. Do you know that famous scene where
Oh, Jacob's Ladder was the one I was thinking about.
Oh, with Timothy Robbins?
When he has all the
Yeah.
visions.
So on Usual Suspects is great.
Huh.
The cast is fantastic.
Yeah.
The storyline with Kaiser Sose. Now, the famous scene when they were in that lineup, right? They said, give me your money. They said that they were improv-ing a lot of it,
Mm-hmm.
and Benicio del Toro was farting.
Yeah, I heard that.
So
He was pissing everybody off
he
because
was
they were in
pissing
an
them off.
enclosed space.
Yeah, because they were in a closed space, and he kept farting on them. That's why he was laughing when he was, check him out with your money. Say it in English or whatever. That's a great movie. That's a great movie. All right,
That
so
would be funny to just be with all your actors in the scene and one of them just doing that.
Right.
That's a good prank to pull.
all right, you want to go with
That's
your,
like what you do when you fart in an elevator and you walk out of it.
Oh, I crop dusted people when you,
you
walk
leave a
by
bomb
'em.
in an elevator and you just get off.
All right, well, who's your bitch of the week?
My bitch of the week is Lance Stroll. You qualified. P20, my friend. How long are you going to keep this up before you run out of daddy's money?
And he didn't even wreck the car.
Nope.
So his best effort was P20 for a guy who's been driving for 5 years.
You're lucky Liam Lawson's... Oh, no. Liam Lawson's lucky because he was P20 the last couple times.
Yeah, but he was starting from the pit. There's a difference.
For qualifying.
Yeah, he started from the pit.
Everyone starts from the pit in qualifying.
No. For the race, he
Oh.
started in the pit. That's
The
why he
pit
was
lane
20.
start.
Yeah, so that's different. All right. So my bitch of the week is representative from California, Eric Swalwell. He had the audacity to bitch and moan this week about the signal nonsense that went on. However, I got no problem with that. Problem I have is, this is the same son of bitch that got honeypotted by Fig Fang. What's her name?
Fang.
Fang.
Tang Fang.
10 years ago, you got honeypotted by a Chinese spy, and you have the audacity to talk about anything with intel, with the signal stuff. Eric Swalwell, you're my bitch of the week. You're a dumbass.
Yeah, I'd take you as a lead analyst on that topic if I was also taking Michael Avenatti as my lawyer.
Yeah. Remember CNN, how stupid they were? They said that he was going to run for president against Trump.
And he had that dumbass ad where he was standing in front of a dumpster that was on fire.
And he ended up,
Very
he's in
literal.
jail.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to love CNN. They're just pathetic. If it wasn't for Scott Jennings, I don't think anybody would be watching CNN.
I do get joy out of people hitting liberals with facts at protests and stuff and seeing their brains melt. It is a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, I saw one where this guy was against Tesla, and it was an older lady. She had to be about 65 or 70. And he asked her, because he had a sign against Elon, and she goes, well, why don't you like Elon? I don't like unelected officials doing stuff in the government. And then the guy goes, you like Dr. Fauci? She goes, oh, I love Dr. Fauci. That's how ironic and how goofy this is, right? What's good for me is not necessarily good for
these
you.
people live
or-
in a make-believe land. Like, they live in their own world.
There's no logic. You know who would be rolling over in their grave if it was real?
Buzz
It's
Dwyer?
Mr. Spock.
Oh.
This is illogical. It makes no sense. It's purely emotion, and it's the wrong way to represent.
Can't have rational
You got to
debates
have
anymore.
rational thought. You can't just be emotional all the time. And it looks like the Dems are becoming more and more emotional, which means you're more and more unpredictable, more and more unstable, and everything changes. What happened to existential threat of climate change?
What
Now
happened
you're
to World-
burning down Teslas.
What happened to
You
World War
guys
III?
are pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. All right, well,
Seek,
that's
hold
it.
on. Seek some help. Touch some grass. Drink enough water.
Yeah, make sure you ground with your bare feet. All right, so we will close episode 16 on April 6th, and we'll see how we did on F1. We'll see how we did on F1. That would be interesting to see.
Disclaimer for Generations Unplugged with Big Kel and Kahuna. This is a podcast created for informational and entertainment purposes only. The views expressed in this podcast reflect the personal experiences and opinions of the hosts and guests. Topics like health, fitness, financial well-being, and personal development are discussed based on individual perspectives and are not intended as professional medical, financial, or psychological advice. Listeners are encouraged to consult with qualified professionals before making decisions related to health, lifestyle, or finances. Each person's journey is unique, and results may vary. The creators of Generations Unplugged disclaim any liability for actions taken based on the content of this podcast. Remember, informed decisions and expert guidance are key to building a fulfilling and balanced life.